guys, it's Neil again from Heart of Texas Armory, and today I'm pretty excited to bring you this video because I'm showing you guys a first look at a new watch I've recently acquired, and this one is a Grail watch. So join me today and find out my initial impressions on the Seiko Grey Ghost. So yes, this is a Grail watch for me, so I'm pretty excited here. This is a watch that I've had my eye on for quite some time. I've been patiently scouring the internet looking for one of these. They don't come up very often, but just last week one came available at the Watch You Seek forum, and I swooped in as fast as I could and basically purchased this thing. So I'm super happy to show you guys this watch. Really cool, kind of a vintage Seiko dive watch here. Like I mentioned, the nickname for this watch is the Grey Ghost, and it has some really cool features that I want to share with you guys. So the nickname for this model, which the reference number here is the SBC-Z005, Grey Ghost, is in reference to two things. One, the absolutely beautiful dial here. Some people call it a granite gray dial. Absolutely one of the coolest looking dials I've ever seen. It even looks better in person than what I saw on all the pictures. And also that Grey Ghost name is in reference to the case and also all the materials that this watch is made out of, which is titanium. So this is a fully titanium watch. Everything from the bezel, the case back, the entire bracelet, everything is titanium on this watch. And I will be going into the history of this timepiece a little bit in the full video review I will be doing in probably 2 or 3 weeks. But for now, I'll just mention that this watch here, production date is approximately 1999, so 20-year-old watch, and this one here is in amazing condition in my opinion. Everything from the case, the bracelet, to the crystal here in exceptional condition for a 20-year-old watch, particularly when it's a dive watch. And like I mentioned, this is a fully titanium watch, and titanium is kind of known to pick up scratches a little easier than stainless steel. This one here's got a few scratches you can see, but it's actually in really good condition considering the age. So I'm a big fan of the dimensions of this timepiece. You're looking at a case diameter of 39.5 millimeters, but it actually wears a little larger than that. You can see there's these sections here, one by the crown and then on the opposite side that kind of jut out. That section there actually measures out to 43 millimeters. And then if you include the crown from that point there to the crown, it actually measures out at 44.5 millimeters. So it does wear larger than the 39.5 would indicate. To me, it wears more like a 40 or even a 40.5, so I really like that size. So awesome case dimensions here. Also, the thickness is really thin. You can see this is a quartz watch. It's a kinetic quartz, which is really cool, and this case thickness here is 12 millimeters, so fairly thin. It's a classy diver here. I think this watch would work well in any environment, obviously scuba diving, any type of water activity, but will look nice in a dress environment too, just because of that classy looking bezel and the nice finish of that titanium. And the weight of this watch is extremely light, so compared to most dive watches in this size, you'd be looking at least around 115 to 140 grams typically in a 40 millimeter case size. This watch here, being fully machined out of titanium, weighs in at only 90 grams, so very light on the wrist, but it doesn't feel cheap and janky. It actually feels very solid, very well done. So Seiko did an amazing job on this watch, making it feel like a quality timepiece even though it is lightweight. So when titanium is done correctly on a wristwatch, I think it's an incredible material. One, of course, it wears light on your wrist, but it also is not as sensitive to environment changes. So when it's cold outside, the titanium will feel slightly warmer than stainless steel would, and then vice versa in the summertime when it's really hot, it's not going to get as hot as say a stainless steel watch is. So it's more of a neutral temperature, which is quite pleasant on the wrist, and I really like that about this timepiece. I've owned a few titanium watches in the past. This one here is probably the most impressive out of any of them that I've owned to date. And a couple other things we'll look at here real quick, since this is a initial video here. I don't want to go into too much detail, but we've already mentioned that dial, but I got to mention it again. What a beautiful dial. This watch here instantly jumps up to the top of my collection in regards to how impressive the dial is. It is simply stunning. Hopefully the video here is capturing some of that charm, but I really like that dial. It even has almost a sparkle effect sometimes when you get it out into bright sunlight. website. Really pretty in person, and I'm hoping that I can capture some of that here on film for you guys. I'm also a big fan of this slightly domed Hardlex crystal here. Really cool. I love that it just has that slight dome. It's not as much of a pronounced dome as some dive watches, so you do get a little bit of distortion, but it's just that little bit, and it just looks nice. To me, I wish more watches would do this slight dome versus the more standard dome that most dive watches have. It still gives you the effect of a dome, but just doesn't stick out as far and makes the watch wear a little thinner. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this first look at this really cool Seiko Grey Ghost, reference number SBCZ005. I'm super excited to own this watch. This is one that I have been searching for quite some time. So really proud, really happy to have picked this up, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this first look at this really cool Seiko dive watch here that is fully machined out of titanium. It just checks a lot of the check boxes that I look for in a watch. One, it's quartz. This is a kinetic movement here, meaning that you really don't have to change out the battery ever. This one here actually had the capacitor changed just recently, so on a full charge you're going to get up to 6 months of battery life basically. So I love that it's quartz. I love the titanium. I love how this watch looks, how it wears, the dimensions, so it's almost a perfect watch. Not to mention it is a dive watch, so 200 meters of water resistance here. This is a true do-it-all watch. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm super excited, as you can probably tell, and be on the lookout for a full review of this watch soon. If you have any questions or comments in the meantime, leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. Guys, y'all take care.